What's good, y'all? Marcus Frazier from Teachable Tuesdays here to motivate you, encourage you, and inspire you to be a better you. Thank you for joining me today. Greatly appreciate it. If you could, please hit the like button, subscribe button, notification button to stay up to date with all of my future Teachable Tuesdays content. You know what? I got the perfect answer for any question that somebody may ask you on a day where you are just not mentally or emotionally prepared to add anything else to your plate. You know what that answer is? No. That's it. Simple answer is no. Listen, today we on the self-care series, episode 4. This is the finale, and I want to talk to you guys about the importance of saying no. Now, I've talked about it on this channel before on a couple of shorts. This is a couple years ago, and I think every couple of years I need to kind of do a refresher, a reminder, especially because we have a lot of new viewers on the channel of why no it's so powerful, why no is so important, and when is the right time to use the word no. Now, I know a lot of times people will look at no as a negative Nancy, negative word selection, negative word choice, if you will. But the reason why I kind of view it from a positive aspect is because, let's be real, we all have a lot on our plate when it comes to life. We all are having certain areas that we're dealing with, that we might be struggling, that we might be having a hard time balancing, if you will. Could be your work life, could be your academic life, it could be your social life, it could be life with your family, it could be life with your friends, life with your significant other. Life is not easy. And sometimes I think a lot of us feel like we have the world on our shoulders. For some people, they feel like they got the whole universe on their shoulders, right? And there are times where you just got to take a step back and say, no, I can't. I can't do it. It's not in me. You know, somebody might want to vent to you, and you might have to say, hey, look, I love you, man. I just don't have the mental capacity for that at the time. And I think a lot of times it's hard because we want to be of assistance to people that we care about. But here's the facts. We can't always be there for everyone that we want to be there for. Let's just be honest with ourselves, right? You know, a lot of us are always move. And they don't take time, or we don't take time to just sit down and chill. And I think sometimes when you're able to tell somebody no, or even tell yourself no, you are establishing boundaries so that way you can get back to full capacity of where you need to be. Or it might not even be necessarily a boundaries issue because you need to recuperate. It might be a boundaries issue just for the simple fact that that's not something that you agree with. That is not something that you morally stand with. And that's another good reason to use no oftentimes, right? There are just some things we don't feel comfortable doing. There's just some ways that people move that we don't feel comfortable moving the same way. And sometimes that no is needed to establish that boundary to say, hey, you might like this, I don't like it. You might move like that, I'm not trying to move like that. I have my own way of moving, and unfortunately it doesn't align with yours. And that's perfectly fine. Being a no man does not necessarily mean that you're being negative. Now, if you're saying no about everything, that's a whole different conversation within itself. But I think when you say no about the right things, when you say no in terms of sticking up for yourself, when you say no in terms of denying yourself from things that you know you shouldn't be getting into, when you say no when you just don't have the energy and it's depleted, you give yourself space, room, and time in order for you to adjust and move accordingly. For example, one second. Sorry about that. Nike app went off. I wanted to make sure you guys can hear me nice and clear. But let's say, for example, you decide to say no to somebody because you just don't have the energy for it. You know, that gives you room to recharge, rethink that maybe the next time they ask, you will have the energy for it. Or let's say you tell somebody no because it's just a certain boundary you don't want to cross. Well, you are establishing your own boundary and letting somebody know you don't feel comfortable with moving in that manner. What it does on both ends is it brings off a sort of positive reinforcement to yourself and letting you and the other person know that This is who I am, this is how I am, and this is where it's at for the time being. Could that change later on? Yes. But in the meantime, is that what it is? Yes, it is. All right. So there's nothing wrong with saying no. There's power in saying no, knowing when to say no, and understanding that if it makes the other person upset that you said no about something, at the end of the day, that's kind of on them, especially when it's for your betterment. All right. Marcus Frazier from Teachable Tuesdays here to motivate you, encourage you, and inspire you to be a better you. Love you guys. This is the end of the self-care series. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you missed episodes 1 through 3, please go back and check those out. We are going to be jumping on to our annual love series that we do every year. And this one, I think I'm going to take it in a bit of a different direction. It's going to be a lot more reviews, a lot more articles that we're going to get into, Reddit reviews, a lot of Shade Room reviews, because let's face it, there's a lot of them out there. There's a lot to talk about. But anyways, much love, y'all. God bless. See you guys soon.